remember the first time you were legally allowed to date? Confusion, excitement, and a truckload of confusion characterized my experience. Thoughts of who am I, who should I become, and who do I want to attract raced my mind. Feeling inadequate on the beauty spectrum, I settled to have a fair balance of beauty and brains, tilting in favor of the brains, of course. So I picked up a book, and this particular place I'm taking you today reminded me of this book. In it was Jewish history and architecture. Highlighted was what they called the sanctuary, a sacred place. It was characterized by 3 divisions: the outer court, the holy place, and the most holy place. While the dams too have 3 main divisions, do not allow the entrances to fool you. The outer court, which is where the bulk of the crowd will be, has lovely, attractive, and overall entertaining features. The second portion is quite refreshing and transitioned from the noise to a more tranquil feeling. The final part is serene, a masterpiece of nature, the kind that almost yells, man could not have done this on their own. Yet how simply magnificent is the beauty portrayed. As you might later notice, I have not filmed this park in the order that I categorize the places. So in the comments, do share which parts of the garden you think represents each portion of the sanctuary, that is, which one is the outer place, the holy place, and the most holy place. Should you fancy, please add why you think so. Up here are breathtaking views of nature with close to little interference of what man could have done. Gigantic rocks, beautiful flowers and cacti, aloe, succulents are scattered beautifully around the covering of the land. This old looking tree is my favorite spot in the garden. One wonders how it could have been possible to craft these branches that look like the roots, and yet they look connected to the roots. Could have been possible. Who could have managed such artistry? And rocking in the arms of the trees, I am connected to the past, the present, and I have a glimpse of what another visitor shall experience right here. The experience is personal, intimate, fulfilling, as though I were the only person alive, the only one to take a rest here. How long it has been here, I do not know. But I am certain that we too today long for such an intimate relationship. I once read that the heart yearns for human love. But this love is not strong enough, or pure enough, or precious enough to supply the wisdom, the strength, and grace to meet the cares and responsibilities and sorrows of this life. Where can I find such love? Most probably not in liberty alone. And yet I long for such love. The beautiful flowers here signal a transition into another part of the sanctuary garden. A huge tree now lay fallen here, and yet it still clings to the rocks. Several times I have visited the dams, and the trees seemingly always have their green foliage covering them. It's astonishing because if you've been to Bulawayo or read on it, you know how arid and extremely hot and dry it is. The weather is harsh. Where lies the magic? Where lies the magic? Is it in the leaves? Is it in the sandy soils? It cannot be. It must be the water. It must be the water, because that is the only difference from the dry trees that I see outside. You see, the trees are planted around the water, and around the trees flows the streams that ensure that the trees are always watered. And in turn, the trees give shade to the aloes and the shorter plants around them, and everyone is happy. So the life-giving force is in the water. It is in the water, yes, and that is why the trees themselves are nourished, because of the water, kind of like how I should be nourished by the water in order to make everyone else around me happy, to shield the friends, the foes, my neighbors, and everyone next to me from the harsh conditions of this sometimes crazy world. I need the nourishment from the water. That I stand as an evergreen tree from whom others find comfort. I need streams that flow by me so that I shield and shade others from the nourishment that I get. And so should you ever visit the dams and wonder what you should put on, you can get away with a beautiful dress or anything depending on what you want to do. There's nice, lovely areas where you can have a picnic, you can have time to eat. What you see now is one of the dams that is unfortunately dry, yet the grass has portions of green. I guess the remnants of the dam are serving the purpose in that area. Should you want to do the zip line, then you'll need to dress appropriately for that too. For I'm sure, as you know, that each place requires an appropriate wedding garment. Not wedding garment, appropriate garment, yes. And of course, there's a lot to do. The children too, the precious children, are jewels, and they too are catered for. So do not hesitate to bring the entire family to have this sanctuary experience.